This is a fairly fascinating phenomenon when I see it occur. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel. Welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast number 311. This is the one about the sporadic Jeet Kune news report. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. Before we get into today's broadcast, quick word about Titans of JKD 3, my upcoming Miami Jeet Kune seminar featuring Chris Kent and Cass Magda as our visiting instructors. If you don't know who Chris Kent and Cass Magda are, tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's episode of the Jeet Kune Dialogues, where instead of the last Friday, we're doing it tomorrow, the Ask Me Anything episode. And I decided to do that because I did get a question by email about the seminar and Chris and Cass. Somebody wanted to know more about them. So I thought I would use that question to open up tomorrow's Ask Me Anything. The rest of you, feel free to send me an email, jkdrebel@gmail.com, or when I put up the postcard, you can put your comments in there. But go to titansofjkd.com for full information and to sign up, titansofjkd.com. All right, so I think this is only the second time, which is why I called it the sporadic Jeet Kune news report, right, in the 5 years that we've been doing the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. So, and it's because it's not that often that I see like this culmination of events, right? But when it does happen, I like to draw people's attention to it. So the first part of this report, so this is how it went down. So this is a Chris Kent post over on his page. And it is, as you can see, a photograph of one of the most iconic images, I would say, of the Jeet Kune pantheon. And this is the famous George Lee constructed tombstone that says, "In memory of a once fluid man, crammed and distorted by the classical mess." So in Chris's post, he said that he was aware that it came from a book, that the idea, Bruce Lee's idea, came from a book, but he couldn't remember. Now, I was aware of that also, and I looked for it in my files, and I couldn't find it. And so then I knew there's only one person that I can turn to who would be able to give me the full information, and that's my colleague, Richard Torres. So I messaged Richard, and immediately he sent me the cover of the book and also the page in the book where it talks about it's called the Harris Oil Service, I think. And so in this book, Profitable Showmanship, there's a passage about them having a tombstone on their front lawn that said something like, in memory of a once good motor ruined by inferior motor oil, or something like that, right? So this is what started the whole what's the word, debacle, kerfuffle, whatever it is, right? So Chris posted that. So I messaged him. I sent him the picture of Profitable Showmanship and the snippet from the page from the book. And so he amended his thing saying, yes, it's from Profitable Showmanship. Now, I thought that it was an interesting enough post that I shared it from Chris Kent's page to the I Love Jeet Kune page. And again, because it's so iconic an image, of course, there was a lot of interaction with it. Now, what happened next? What happened next is interesting to say the least. So what happened next was Mr. Torres did his own post, and if you can read the caption, it says, "Jumping from style to style is not Jeet Kune fluidity." And so he photoshopped it and said, "In memory of a once fluid art, crammed and distorted by additional styles." Okay, now here's the thing. This is as soon as if Richard Torres posts this, right? You know where it's going to go. I mean, from the outset, you know where it's going to go. If he says crammed and distorted by additional styles, we know that that is going to end up in what? If people engage with this, it's going to end up going in what direction? Add in additional styles, it's going to go in a Dan and Asano direction, because this has happened before several times on the I Love Jeet Kune Do page. And that's why I'm smiling, because it's all happened before. It's not new. So if it's happened before, don't you guys learn from your previous experiences? So if you see this, you look at it and you go, oh, that's kind of cute. Me, I looked and I go, man, I wish I had that kind of Photoshop skills, because the in memory of a once fluid art looks to me like the exact same font from the original photograph, right? So I find that impressive. Okay, so I know where it's going to go, and sure enough, in one of the responses, our good friend Billy Brown, shout out to Billy Brown, always good for a laugh. Billy Brown made a comment with, in inimitable Billy Brown style, a lot of colorful religious allusions, and he ended with the words, "So saith my Lord Legion Fawn." So I can't help myself laughing about this. So the upshot of that was another of our well-known Jeet Kune Do colleagues on the I Love Jeet Kune Do page is Anthony Casey. And so Anthony Casey was a little bit alarmed, right? That in his consideration, it was Billy Brown making fun of Bruce Lee by saying that Bruce Lee died at 32, so he couldn't possibly have had everything figured out, by saying that, people tend to treat the whole Jeet Kune Do Bruce Lee thing like if it was the word of the Lord, Jesus Christ, or what have you. And so Anthony was a little bit alarmed by that. So I tried to counsel him and say, look, let people do what it is that they want to do. You don't want to take on the job of being the Jeet Kune Do police, right? We leave that for other people on Jeet Kune Do forums, right? So why? Let Billy Brown say what it is he wants to say. Let Richard Torres post what it is that he wants to post. If you find it of interest, I'm not referring to these particular posts. I'm saying in general, if somebody posts something on Facebook, if you find it of interest, then engage with it. If you want to know more about it, ask a question or what have you. But when you go down the road, and again, I can't stress this enough, it's all happened before. This is not the first time that Richard Torres has said anything on Facebook. This is not the first time that Billy Brown has commented on anything on Facebook. If you guys are not yet at the point where it's like, look, people are who they are. They do what they do. They say what they say. They have their beliefs. They have their opinions. Fine. If you find it interesting, you engage with it, ask a question or what have you. If you don't find it interesting, if you don't find it worthy of your time or what have you, walk on, leave it alone, let it go. Let those who want to engage with it, let them do it. You don't have to get involved. You can just click on another page on Facebook. You could get off the internet. Right? So that was both my journalistic reporting of the event and then also my what do they call it, opinion editing, right? It's all hilarious. I do not understand why it is people don't just let others do what it is they want to do. If it's interesting, get involved. If it's not interesting, leave it alone. You don't have to get into vitriolic back and forth with people where then all the character assassination stuff and you don't know this and you don't know that and you think you're this and you think you're that and I'm this compared to you and you're not this compared to me, and all that stuff. No need. Absolutely no need. Just walk on. All right. So that's it for me for today. You guys let me know what you think. I think you pretty much understand where I'm at on this. So let me know in the comments below. That's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods, at paypal.me/UnifiedMA Miami. PayPal.me/UnifiedMA Miami. You can pick up a raw but edited copy of the Jeet Kune Journey Volume 1, PayPal.me/UnifiedMA Miami. You can also support the show at jkdrebel.com. Click on the Rebel Gear link, and that's where you'll see stuff like this, the Unified Martial Art Academy official Kali JKD t-shirt. There's also other t-shirts like this, the JKD notables, and then there's kitchen implements like coffee mugs and all that kind of stuff. This is all at jkdrebel.com, and then just click on the Rebel Gear link. All right, so like I said at the beginning, this is tomorrow. I'll be my own guest on the Jeet Kune Dialogues, the Ask Me Anything. I will be talking a little bit about Chris Kent and Cass Magda. And if anybody has any questions for me, email them to me at jkdrebel.com. I'm sorry, jkdrebel@gmail.com, or it's 3:15. I might not have time to put the postcard up. If I do, you can just comment on that post and ask your questions there. And I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. If not, I'll see you next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, signing off. You guys take care. Have a good one. Talk soon.